Good morning, investors. I'm coming to you very early in the morning so I can go ahead and catch this next flight out back to the East Coast. But you know what I'm coming to bring you? I'm coming to bring you that good news from that game that we all saw yesterday. Shedeur Sanders just in one game, actually just in 3 games, have already showed the NFL, especially the NFL scouts, that everything they reported was lies. And that's not allegedly, because the stats and the game yesterday proved all. And where are those NFL scouts now? I would love to be a fly when those general managers are talking to those NFL scouts this morning and asking them basically, what in the hell went wrong? Who said what, why, and when? What assessment did you conduct? Hey, but we're going to talk about that later. But we already knew who Shedeur was. Ooh. Those meetings this morning is going to be very entertaining and very interesting because I want to hear what those NFL scouts say. But we're going to move on. We already know what Shedeur Sanders' stats was yesterday. His completion rate was 364 yards with 3 TDs. He even had his own rushing touchdown. Go ahead, Shedeur. In this game, he completed 23 of 42 for 364 yards, average 8.7 yards, double what was Dylan Gabriel's results. 3 TDs, 1 interception. His longest pass was 60 yards, and that was to Jeudy. Hey. And of course, they lost that game yesterday, but Shedeur Sanders have won, and he has won the world over. All the ones, well, we can't say that because we don't know that the haters are going to hate and the doubters are going to doubt. So that's up to them. But hell, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard trying to convince no one that don't know the story that Shedeur Sanders is not him. But we shall see. And we already know that yesterday game had another energy in the atmosphere. But I thought before I go into that assessment, overall assessment, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. Even Jeudy had got happy during the game doing that 60-yard pass from Shedeur Sanders to him. Even he, quote-unquote, literally showed his ass in the air yesterday. He actually flipped into the end zone when he got those 60 yards and he made that touchdown. He flipped into the end zone. So Jeudy got on board. Jeudy has discovered the power of righteousness. Jeudy has discovered that we ain't playing and we ain't rolling down, even though your skin may look like ours. We ain't having none of this foolishness. And we showed that last week. Let you hear what some of the other big YouTube channels have put out about this game, and I'm loving it. You know I'm loving it. You can believe. Well, we already kind of knew, but even Kevin Stefanski said this out of his mouth. We knew this. Let me go ahead and put Ocho and Shannon Sharpe on the screen and let you hear a little quick take about their opinion from the game.
Matthew Stafford, number 1 pick. Sam Darnold was a top 3 pick. C.J. Stroud was a top 3 pick. Trevor Lawrence was a number 1 pick. C.J. Stroud was number 2. Kyler Murray was number 1. Bo Nix was a top pick. You look at this. Look at all these guys up here and look at where they were drafted. And look at what this 5th-round kid did. And they bull-jiving him. Sometimes, they say, Ocho, a man can make his destiny on the road that he took to avoid it. Sometimes I can make my destiny on even though obstacles you placed in front of me. It might take me a little longer. It might have took me 10 weeks, but I got there in spite of what you tried to do. God say, bow before me and I stand for you. And if I stand for you, can't no man stand against you.
Well, Shannon Sharpe just said something right there. He just said something, a mouthful. And Sharpe had made at the end of that segment. Let me let you hear it again. God said, if you bow before me, I'll stand for you. Come on now. We already know who Shedeur is. We already know that Shedeur Sanders is grounded in his faith. And if God is not showing who he is in this time, everybody is blind. Whew. And there's a video I'm gonna bring tonight just with Shedeur Sanders, praising God again, once again, giving God the glory once again in that post game from last night. Even though it was a loss against the Tennessee Titans, it definitely was a win in the spiritual war. I told you weeks ago that something was happening in the spirit, and it's resonating across all of these platforms. Because God is working in a way that only He can get the glory. Even Shedeur said it. I'm going to go ahead and let you hear what Archo and Shannon Sharpe also said later in their segment. That was very profound.
That's a damn good Titans defense. Mm-hmm. And he just threw for almost 400 yards with 4 total touchdowns. Yes, he had a bad interception, but he played unbelievable for his 3rd career start. Hold on. Andrew Luck, #1 overall. Stafford, #1 overall. Marcus Mariota, #2 overall. C.J. Stroud, #2 overall. Deshaun Watson, a top 20 pick. He just did what those guys did. Joe Burrow, #1. Andrew Luck, #1. Stafford, #1. Andrew Luck, #2. Andrew Luck was #1. Stafford was #1. Joe Burrow was #1. 3 #1 picks. C.J. Stroud was #2. Marcus Mariota was #2. So he just did something that 3 #1s, 2 #2s, and a top 20 quarterback. The only one that's ever in the Super Bowl era. Playing Super Bowls for longer than I've been alive. A 5th rounder did that.
Just hear that for Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco. Boy, I had to, they did all the work for me, and I definitely got to give them their props because they ran it down just like it needed to be run down. No one can dispute what Shedeur Sanders put on display yesterday. Now, I knew that game was going to be a nice showcase, but I didn't know it was going to go down like that. Even though the only thing different was I really thought we was going to get that win, but we didn't get that win. But like I said, Shedeur Sanders won individually and just for his mental state. That is what was needed, because I could tell in the first half of that game, he definitely was trying to get his footing. He really wasn't himself. But once he opened up and he let go, it was on and popping. So, remember I told you a few weeks ago, if you just let them talk, they'll tell on themselves. Remember after the Baltimore Ravens game, going into the Raiders game when Shedeur Sanders won that first game as the 42nd quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He was the first rookie to win his first NFL debut. We all know that history. But what I'm trying to get at, remember during that game, it had stated that the week of that game, Kevin Stefanski had relinquished all of his play calling duties to Tommy Rees. Well, guess what? That is all a lie. Kevin Stefanski has stated on that panel last night that he's still responsible for all the play calling. So either he did a Freudian slip or he was just trying to, take all the blame. I guess he's trying to show some leadership skills. He's still calling those plays behind the scenes. Just some plays yesterday, Kevin Stefanski could not call, and Shedeur just let loose. But let me let you go ahead and hear what Kevin Stefanski said out of his own mouth. He said he's still calling the plays.
Just disappointed to the take, and obviously not getting either of the 2-point plays really off is frustrating. So that's on all of us. We own it. Can't hide from it.
I know Shedeur had the pretty bad interception, but just overall, what about the sort of moxie that he showed in bringing?
Yeah, he fought, throughout the game, which we knew he would. Obviously, with any young player, Mary Kay, there's going to be ups and downs, and I thought there were some really, really, really good moments. He'll keep learning from some of the plays that he wants back, but some really good moments.
What was supposed to happen on that last 2-point conversion?
Yeah, not going to get into all the specifics, Jeff, but obviously did not go as we thought it would.
Did you make that call or did Tommy?
Yeah, I make every call.
Shedeur had the hot hand. Why would you take him off?
Yeah, it's a 2-point play. Didn't come through on our first 2-point play. Got to the second 2-point play. We didn't come through, but that's on me.
Was that play call yours or Tommy's?
I'm responsible for all of it.
Kevin, on this.
Hey, we just heard from Kevin Stefanski's mouth that he's responsible for all of it, all of the play calling. See, a couple weeks ago, they tried to do a switcheroo like we was foolish. Yeah, even though Tommy Rees may have been quote-unquote labeled the offensive coordinator for these last 3 games, it has been Kevin Stefanski making those calls and giving him the the instructions on what plays to do at the same time. Hey, we already know what that trick was. We've seen that trick before. Kevin Stefanski is the one calling these plays. So moving forward, let's always keep that in mind, that when Shedeur is out there and he's struggling and he can't, it seems like he's having issues with the plays, just know that he's still pulling that chain behind the scenes. So we only got 3 more games. 3 more games. The next game is away in Chicago against the Bears. That's going to be another good one. Even though the Bears is not the Tennessee Titans, Shedeur Sanders, week by week, he is getting better and he's warming up. And hey, did y'all, I need to give Fannon, I'm going to give Fannon his credit after this right here. But I definitely want to address this right here, Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry. No, I'm leaving Andrew Berry out of this because I think Andrew Berry is that support channel, that support leadership that Shedeur is getting behind the scenes. But Kevin Stefanski, let me tell you one thing. You better not be throwing these games in vain. I hope you're not throwing these games in vain just to go out and get an unnecessary quarterback when Shedeur Sanders is there in your face. But guess what? Even if you do go ahead and do that, release and trade Shedeur Sanders at the end of the season or right before the draft. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of teams that's going to definitely utilize him. But if you are throwing these games just so you can get the number 1 pick in the draft, it better not be a quarterback. It better be somebody that you're bringing in to help Shedeur and build around Shedeur. Because as everybody know, he is that franchise QB1 that Cleveland Browns have been looking for. He even told you himself in Vegas. He's the one they've been looking for. So let me tell you one thing. If you need some help, Kevin Stefanski, if you need some consultation right now on these were the 8-20-25, let me go ahead and put some players in your ears that you may need to go out and draft next year. You got a wide receiver named Jordan Tyson. That's from Arizona State. Ironically, Tyson also played for the Colorado Buffaloes. Yes, he was a Shedeur Sanders teammate. Colorado Buffalo. So that'll be a good hint. It should be some chemistry there. I'm definitely sure some chemistry there. But if you don't want to go that route, if you don't want to be Colorado Buffaloes on the Cleveland Browns team, you also got Carnell Tate that's coming out of Ohio State. Hey, I like that. Carnell Tate coming out of Ohio State. You got him. You got a Denzel Boston coming out of Washington. You got a Chris Bell coming out of Louisiana. All right, if you don't want to go that way, if you definitely don't want to go that way, the tight end is secure. I like Njoku, and I like Fannon. But if you don't want to go that way, here's some offensive tackles you need to be looking for. You got Spencer Fanno out of Utah. You got Caden Proctor out of Alabama. You got Drew Shelton out of Penn State. You got Xavier Chaplin out of Auburn. You got Isaiah Worrell out of Oregon. Hey, you need to go ahead and get some of these other positions filled, because from what I heard about that O-line, none of them on contract. So what are you doing, Kevin Stefanski? So if you are throwing these games for that first round pick, you need to go ahead and get some of these specialty and build around Shedeur. But hey, it's your team, it's your call. It is what it is. Go ahead and get him on my screen. And I definitely want to go ahead and highlight this young man before I end this video right here. If you don't know, you're going to know now. This is Fannon Jr. Fannon Jr. has been connected with Shedeur Sanders in these last 3 games, and it's been showing. Fannon Jr. has more catches than Jeudy this year. Telling. Fannon Jr. was also catching with Dylan Gabriel. So you know when he was going to get paired with Shedeur Sanders, it definitely was going to be some sights. But I just want to give you a little information about Harry Fannon Jr. He is actually the 67th pick in the NFL draft this year. And of course, he was picked up by the Cleveland Browns. And as of now, receiving attempts for 619 yards, and he averaged 10.49 yards. And he has 4 TDs already this year. Fannon Jr. is something serious out on that field. I may go out and get me a 44 jersey. I'm loving what I'm seeing in Fannon Jr. Kevin Stefanski, we don't know what your current state and what your future state is, but Andrew Berry, it seems like you're going to be very secure in the Cleveland Browns organization, at least for another year. But I'll definitely be coming back later tonight. Guess what? I'm coming back tonight with a Tony Talks Vested Insight tonight. Yes, the old style Tony Talks Invested tonight. But you know I gotta move with these streets. I gotta be like water. I gotta go where the news go. But tonight I'm gonna come back and drop that Tony Insight tonight at 9, and we're gonna ride out on something smooth. So until you hear from me next time, make sure you go get your notes, your drink, and your vest. Hey, because we vested up today. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this commentary over your coffee, your breakfast, your caramel macchiato, your life at taffy, your American latte. Go ahead and get your smoothie. Go ahead and take your vitamins and all your vitamins and your minerals, and go ahead. Hey, go ahead and enjoy your day and live life in all positivity. All right, I'll talk to you later, Vestas.